Good evening. Welcome to Hands On with Harriet. We are going to get our hands on our table runner and our tablecloth this evening. And I'm going to show you how I made this wonderful tablecloth. But the first thing we're going to do is work on our runner. And you're going to need a very hot steamed iron. Let me turn mine on now. This is cotton gauze. And I'm putting it on cotton linen and I have put water in it already because I want it to steam. I love Stitch Witchery. I've been using it since the 70s when it first came out. The bonding tape that makes hems. A pair of scissors. I got this from Hobby Lobby at 50% off. Well, 40% off. And a pressing cloth if you like, because you do not want to get this bonding onto your this web onto your iron, the faceplate of your iron, because then it will make your iron not move as smooth and it will have a burning smell. So the first thing I'm going to do is iron out my runner on the end so I can work with it and it be a clean, even edge, and I don't have to worry about it not doing what I wanted to do. Now, this particular fabric that I chose, as I said, is a gauze, and it has a natural wrinkle to it, which I like because my tablescape is Winter Wonderland. And we want that wrinkled look that gives a snowy feel. That's why I chose it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is trim off the selvage. This is the selvage on your fabric. It is where they start the fabric when they're weaving it and end the fabric where they're weaving it. It's tightly woven. Sometimes it doesn't even have a color on it. It might have the ingredients of the paint, of the fabric colors or the dye colors that they used. And sometimes they have these little strings on it like this. And I'm just going to trim those off so that I don't have those hanging out when I iron the web on. Okay, I'm going to get rid of these strings. Okay, so what you're going to do is this fabric doesn't have a right or a wrong side, I don't think. Can't see one. If there was one, I would think this would be the right side. But when you flip it over, it's the same. So it really doesn't matter. So I'm going to measure off a portion of this webbing and cut it. You're going to have one on this end and one on the other end, which I've already done. But that way you can measure it off and you know exactly how much you need. You can do it twice. But what you want to do is make sure that when you are putting this on, that you fold over enough of the fabric that it covers the entire web. You don't want to leave any of it sticking out to stick on to your iron. I'm going to use a pressing cloth because I don't want to take a chance on getting this on my iron. Now, if you do get it on there, there is a product called, I can't think of the name of it now, but I've been using it for years. There's a product that you can use and, that will clean that off. And if I think of it before we get to the end of this DIY, I will tell you. It's a very, very good product. It will clean the face of your iron. You can get it in the grocery store, in your cleaning section. You can get it at Lowe's, I do believe, where they keep their cleaning products. Now, I always miter my corners. By that I mean I fold it over and then I fold over again so that I will get a nice, clean corner. And I iron that down, and then I start to do my ironing with my web, stitchery or bonding agent. Now make sure again that I bring it down enough that it won't be outside of the fabric. And on this one I just do a little at a time. Because I don't measure it off. You can use this for, my girls used it for hemming jeans, and if you need to do a quick hem, or some people use it for putting projects together, gluing them together, the two fabrics. I am not going to do the entire, this is just a sample piece for me, so I'm not going to be doing the entire fabric right now. This is just so that I can show you how I made my table runner and my tablecloth. And I'll finish it all up later, but I just want to give you this tutorial and we'll move on. And that way we'll be finished with our Winter Wonderland tablescape. See, if you lay it down like that, then you already know that it's folded and creased where you want it to be, and you don't have to worry about trying to fold it as you go. I take it all the way up to the crease. This is just an old work shirt that I'm using. It is clean, but I have used it so many times as a pressing cloth, and I use a 100% cotton cloth so that it can take the heat of my iron. As you can see, a little bit, it didn't fold over. I couldn't see it, and it stuck, and that would have been on my iron. Well, probably not, because I would have seen it. But anyway, it's still going to, that webbing is still there, and it will still fuse down. But I saved my iron. And you're just holding it on there long enough to get it to melt and bond the two fabrics together with the hot iron. Okay? So now we'll move this to the side, and I'll show you how I put my, see, my corners are really nice. How I made my tablecloth and my runner. Turn turn my iron off because I don't need it now. Whew. That steam got on my mat. I didn't realize that would happen because I've never used it. I have an iron board over there. I just want, because of my camera being stationary, I wanted everything. Well, that wasn't a wise thing to do. I should have removed my mat. But I think it's going to be all right. It's as expensive as these things can be. Well, anyway. So, the next thing you're going to do is you are going to put these shears away because these are to be used with fabric only. That's why this is on there, so that my grandchildren will know not to use those. Put your webbing away because you're not going to use that. And at the Dollar Tree, I found these packs of paper. And these are the scissors that we're going to use for cutting paper. And in these packs of paper are several colors. So can you imagine what you could do with this? When I was looking to make this tablecloth, like I said, it was in October, and they didn't have the silver serving trays, which is what I was looking for to make it with. And the only thing I found was this. I couldn't find wrapping paper. I couldn't find anything that had that silverness to it, because what I wanted to do was make a mosaic cloth. And all you're going to do is cut pieces, all different size pieces for your tablecloth. Some will be smaller, some will be large, some will be medium-sized. And what I did is, because I am putting this together a piece at a time, I had 3 bags, and I had my sizes in the 3 bags according to their size: small, medium, and large, so that I could work quickly and freely. Okay? And I am using tacky glue. I have a putty knife that I think helps me to do this, that I think it'll help do it in a good way. Now, I would suggest, and since I didn't bring any up here, and I don't have any up here now, I am sorry I messed that up. But anyway, I would suggest that you put some wax paper down under this, but it will wipe up, it will come off, because the glue is going to come through your fabric. And what you do is you start maybe 1/8 of an inch from the edge of your tablecloth or your runner. And you can also use Mod Podge with this. You just put a little on. You can use a paintbrush or you can use your finger. Put it all over and put it onto the cloth. Take your finger or your putty knife and put it down. That way you can hopefully get the corners to lay down really well. And it's like a puzzle. If I wanted to go that way or if I wanted to go this way. It's like a mosaic and it's like a puzzle. It's just fun. and it's pretty. And doing it this way too, because this is paper, remember, it'll keep you from getting, this dries clear, so don't worry about it getting on the paper. But I did use a paper towel to wipe some of that off as I was going. And what you're going to do is don't use your fingernail or anything too hard, because it's going to score or make an indentation in the paper, and you won't, and you're going to make an, a design that you don't really want in your design. Now this is going to take a little while, simply because you're going to be putting the pieces on. But I think I want to go with something a little bit smaller in that area. And you decide about how wide you want your border to be. You're building a border and you're making it into a mosaic. And mine is about 4 to 6 inches, I think. So they all look the same size, don't they? Right now they do anyway. I did this. I'm just going to do just a couple more just to show you. And you want to make sure your glue goes all the way to the end, just to show you how I did it. And it doesn't matter if this one doesn't align with that one, because, and I'm going to show you in a minute, I think I want to use the paper instead of that way I'm wiping and pressing at the same time to get that down, because I want a little one in there. You can put another one in there. You see how skinny that is? This particular one, to go into this area right here, just to fit it in. Or I could even get a smaller one. The whole point is that you are building, let's use this one. You are building a design. This one is smaller. I've got a lot of big ones here and I don't like that. Don't want them all to be big. You're building your design as you go, and that's what takes the longest. And because you're also trying to keep them at least an eighth or a little more apart, so it looks like a mosaic. Okay? And the longer you do it, the more you will get into the groove of it, and it will feel like it's supposed. You'll just be picking them up, and it will feel right to you, how it's supposed to be. And you can also, if you want one to go a certain way, cut a little piece off, so that it will align in the way that you want it to. Here are my really small ones here. See, I can put a small one here to start going this way. And it will fit the alignment on this line and here, like this. Remember, my theme is Winter Wonderland, and my thing was to try to make it as icy looking as possible. So originally, this was supposed to be ice for me, and it turned into a mosaic, which was fine too. And because it came out so pretty. It's like a puzzle. You work it out. So of all the things, other than the charger, which didn't take very long, well, none of it really took a whole lot of time. But I'm thinking that probably this took the most time because of the fact that you have to figure it out. You have to make it work. Got a hair stuck to my finger because of the glue. Going across the bottom, basically what I do is keep a straight edge here. Or a point, and then build with another straight edge, because you want it to lay and give you, well, in my opinion, you want it to be the neatest part of it as far as straight edge is concerned. You kind of line those up. Okay, and this is what you have at this point, and you do that all the way across, not all the way round.